What is going on, guys? It's your boy Big Dylan and welcome back to another Division video. Now, I haven't actually done a Division video in quite a while, and that's mainly been because I haven't actually been playing the game as much as I used to, and that's what I want to go over today. Basically go over why I think the Division fails to keep certain players playing long term, and doesn't really keep me playing consistently. It's not my main game. I don't play it like every week. It's not a main game I would choose to play. So I'm going to go over a few reasons as to why I think that is. Now, the first reason would be that I am on console. Now, you may be thinking, why does that matter? Now, the aiming in the game for console is just not really enjoyable. You feel really inaccurate. You miss a lot of shots. That's just from me playing the game anyway. Like, the more I play it, the better. Obviously, I do get at landing shots, but if I was just to hop on the game, I miss a lot of bullets. I end up not being able to land headshots consistently. The recoil seems to be really off-putting at times. It seems to be really just sort of tedious to control certain weapons in the game. So that's sort of like towards one of the reasons as to why I don't seem to enjoy it as much as I think I would if I was on, say, PC, where I could have a keyboard and mouse. I feel like I'd be a lot more accurate on there, so I'd find that more enjoyable because I'd be landing more of my shots. I'd be able to melt enemies quicker. And another reason is mainly to do with the DLC of the game. Now, don't get me wrong, Survival was probably some of the best content we've seen in the Division, hands down. I mean, Survival was really fun to play with a friend or something like that. Even it was quite fun solo, but after a while, it's just the same thing over and over and over again. Now, obviously, I'm not asking for infinite possibilities or anything like that. That's completely impossible to a certain extent. But I feel like a lot of the DLC we've had in the Division seems to be based on just playing the same activity over and over and over again. So, for example, doing the underground. Now, they said for the underground, they said there was loads of possibilities. There was endless possibilities. You're never going to be playing the same thing twice. But I found myself after playing it 5-10 times in a row, I was playing the same thing. There wasn't enough variety in the underground to keep it entertaining for as long as I think they thought it would have kept people busy for. So then obviously Survival came out, which was very, very fun for a little bit, and then it just got boring after that. I just sort of stopped playing. I think 2 weeks after Survival released is when I stopped playing the Division. I just couldn't really be bothered with it as much, and I feel like the DLC is just not really entertaining, which is sort of why I would prefer some story-driven content as well. Like, an example I'm going to use here is Destiny. When a DLC comes out for Destiny, we have loads of new story missions, some quests. We have some like strikes, which are like 3-player activities where there's a boss at the end that you have to kill, and then there's usually an endgame activity on top of that, which is usually a raid, which is a 6-player raid, which is really fun. And I feel like that's sort of what the Division's lacking. They seem to add just one thing that you grind over and over and over again, and I feel like it really seems to lack in keeping my attention long term. It's fun for a little while to grind up, get some new gear, see what's new in the game, but once you've got it and you've reached that max level, it's just sort of like I can't be bothered playing anymore. So I feel like in the future for the Division, I feel like I would really like to start seeing some story-driven content. Like I say, it is what keeps me playing more, as I hate the Dark Zone. Now, one thing that I feel like the developers have been keep trying to push, like, and force all the time, is the Dark Zone. They keep saying, oh, Dark Zone this, Dark Zone that, go to the Dark Zone, play the Dark Zone. And it's just simply not fun. I don't enjoy the Dark Zone. I think it's very unbalanced. I think it's very annoying. Certain abilities, getting one shot by stickies, getting everyone's just running. I think it's alpha bridge builds at the moment, if I'm correct on that. I've not really been keeping up to date with the game too much, but there's no variety, and it's just the game's very. I don't like the PvP on Division. You know, the beta was okay-ish, but I still didn't really enjoy it fully. And ever since, it's just pretty much gone downhill from there, and it's not really been enjoyable. And I feel like that's sort of one of the big things. If the Division, like for the Dark Zone side of things, if the Dark Zone was PvE-able as well, so where you don't have to kill other players and or you can't kill other players, I feel like I would play the game a little bit more. You know, maybe if they increase the difficulty of the enemies, if you was choosing the PvE version, say if they, you know, they put them like another level above, and they made it really hard, you know, so you take quite a bit more damage, and you know, you have to deal quite a bit more damage. I feel like it'd sort of, yeah, it'd give me an incentive to play. You know, it's like a third of the map that I'm not able to play, just because I don't like the PvP in the Division. And like I say, it's just the game in itself for the PvP, especially on console. I'm talking about with this is it feels so clunky. You know, you feel very heavy. You can't move properly. You can't strafe. You just feel so, you know, heavy, to put it simple. You know, so that's one of the other things as well as to why I feel like I don't really keep playing the Division long term is it's just mainly the DLC. It seems to always be a grind to get up to a gear score, which then is pretty pointless anyway, as you know, we're playing the same missions that we were playing on the release of the game, as they've not actually added, you know, any new real missions. You know, you could argue as well with the incursions. You know, the incursions are okay. I think they're a step in the right direction for endgame. I feel like they are pretty decent, especially the most recent one. I think it's the Dragon's Nest. I think that's what it's called anyway. The cleaners. You know, that was a very fun incursion. I think it's really good, but I would like to see a much more deeper end game. I feel like it would really work in the Division as well. Taking for instance from Diablo as well, another game that I absolutely love to play. Diablo has an amazing end game. Yeah, and you feel more powerful. The more time you put into the game, the more and more powerful you get. In the Division, you know, you might be able to get an extra 0.5 crit chance, but in the end, you know, it doesn't really do shit. You know, it doesn't really add to the experience of the game. You don't feel even more powerful from that. But on Diablo, you know, you can get different, you can get ancient items, you can get all these sort of, you know, better stat rolls, you can get different. You know, I feel like the end game on Division needs to be worked on. I feel like at the moment it's just pretty much hitting max gear score, and when you've done it, you've done. That's just my thoughts and opinions on the game as to why I haven't really been playing it as much recently. And another thing on screen right now, as you can see, I was stuck in the glitch of the little emote glitch, which still to this day has not been fixed, unfortunately. So it's just other little things like that as well that really sort of take away from the experience of the game. That's just obviously my opinion. Don't let this change your opinion about the game. This is just sort of me to sort of vent and give my thoughts and opinions on the game. But anyway, I'd love to hear, you know, what you guys think in the comments down below. Just comment anything down below. Just your thoughts and opinions. If you agree or disagree with anything I just said. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed, guys. Subscribe to the channel for future Division content. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.